Hello and welcome to the audio lesson brought to you by Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Today's lesson is titled Moschus Mostiferus and is presented by Mr. Danish Manzoor for the students of MA English second year. The lesson is based on Block 4 of Paper 9, that is Australian Literature.
Welcome to today's lesson on Moschus Mostiferus. In today's lesson, I will tell you about the theme, imagery, allusions, sarcasm and satire in the poem Moschus Mostiferus by the Australian poet A. D. Hope.
Moschus Mostiferus, subtitled A Song for St. Cecilia's Day. In the high jungle where Assam meets Tibet, the small Kastura, most archaic of deer, were driven in herds to cram the hunter's net and slaughtered for musk pods which they bear. But in those thickets of rhododendron and birch, the tiny creatures now grow hard to find. Fewer and fewer survive each year. The search employs new means, more exquisite and refined. The hunters now set out by 2 or 3. Each carries a bow and one a slender flute. Deep in the forest, the archers choose a tree and climb. The piper squats against the root. And there they wait until all trace of man and rumor of his passage dies away. And they melt into the leaves, and while they scan the glade below, their comrade starts to play. Through those vast listening woods, a tremulous keen of melody wavers, delicate and shrill, now dancing and now pensive, now a rain of pure bright drops of sound, and now the still sad wailing of lament. From tune to tune it winds and modulates without a pause. The hunters hold their breath. The trance of noon grows tense. With all its power the music draws a shadow from a juniper's darker shade. Bright-eyed, with quivering muzzle and pricked ear, the little musk deer slips into the glade, led by an ecstasy that conquers fear. A wild enchantment lures him, step by step, into its net of crystalline sound, until the leaves stir overhead, the bowstrings snap, and poisoned shafts bite sharp into the kill. Then, as the victim shudders, leaps, and falls, the music soars to a delicious peak, and on its silvery piping calls fresh spoil for the rewards the hunters seek. But when the woods are emptied and the dusk draws in, the men climb down and count their prey, cut out the little glands that hold the musk, and leave the carcasses to rot away. 100,000 or so are killed each year. Cause and effect are very simply linked. Rich scents demand the musk, and so the deer, its source, must soon, they say, become extinct. Divine Cecilia, there is no more to say. Of all who praise the power of music, few knew of these things. In honor of your day, accept this song I too have made for you.
Alec Derwent Hope's poem Moschus Mostiferus exemplifies the significance of music in the field of hunting to portray its misuse. It is important to note that the poem is written on Saint Cecilia's Day. As pointed out earlier, Saint Cecilia is regarded as the patron saint of music. To commemorate the occasion, Hope chooses to depict the misuse of the power of music for destructive purposes and material gain. In order to present this theme, you will notice how Hope chooses the hunting of the musk deer to indicate the exploitation of music for materialistic ventures. The Kastura are a kind of deer which are hunted for their musk pods used in the perfume industry. The dense forests of Assam are home to this breed of deer. Their number, however, is fast dwindling. The relentless pursuit of the hapless deer by the growing group of hunters is the major cause for their near extinct status. The materialistic attitude of man, unconcerned about the ecological imbalance his acts may result in, raises serious concerns. And what better way there can be than to raise the issue on Saint Cecilia's Day? The hunters think only about their gain. The dwindling number of deer makes them greedier. They lure the deer into the trap by playing music to draw them near. The unsuspecting animals become sitting ducks and fall prey to the merciless arrows. The poignant scene of deer hunting moves the reader to reflect on man's cunningness. The deer is hunted not to satiate one's hunger but to make quick profit. The role played by music in trapping the deer is a silent reminder of the vicious trap laid for the mute animals. The minute details of music played arouses one's curiosity until the reader realizes that the music was but a lure to trap the deer. Well, if the theme of the poem Moscus Mostiferus is clear, let me take you to the use of imagery in the poem. Imagery refers to the use of words to convey a visual picture. The imagery used in a poem also evokes a particular mood, which generally supplements the theme. Therefore, a study of imagery is essential for a proper understanding of the poem. Hope's poem evokes pictorial images through the use of imagery. A sense of violence pervades the poem to indicate the fast approaching extinction of the musk deer. Accordingly, the depiction of violent images is an essential part of the poem. The poem, you must remember, is dedicated to the saint of music. Consequently, another essential component of the imagery is the rise and fall of the music. To highlight the difference between the past and the present situation, in order to represent the threat of extinction faced by the musk deer, Hope uses the imagery of crowdedness for the past. For example, he says the deer were driven in herds, indicating the large population in the past. To cram also is used to serve the same purpose. The diminishing numbers require lesser tactics, so the hunters now set out by 2 or 3, and instead of nets, bows and arrows are used. To evoke the pathetic image of the deer and to instill a sense of sympathy in the readers, Hope uses the term small kastura, tiny creatures, little musk deer, the victim and the prey. The pervading sadness is synchronous with the music, as it is sad wailing of lament. The changing notes of music succeed in accomplishing the intentions of the hunters. The deer is so captivated by the music that it forgets its fear, and the wild enchantment lures it into the net of crystalline sound. In order to evoke the sympathy of the readers for the hapless deer, Hope continues to use music to indicate the ruthless lack of pity in the hunters. The inhuman killing of the innocent deer is marked by music soaring to a delicious peak. The hunters have achieved their goal and delight in the process. There is no mourning on the untimely death of the deer. It is also an indication of the materialistic greed of the hunters, for whom the death of the deer is delicious, and it is the point of culmination, so the phrase delicious peak is apt in more than one sense. The poignant scene following the death of the deer is depicted through the cutting out of the little glands and leaving the carcasses to rot away. There is no sense of remorse because rich scents demand the musk. The extinction of the deer holds no meaning to the hunters. They busy themselves in counting their prey. All this and more goes to show the skillful use of imagery in the poem, lending it a beautiful quality. Having looked at the theme and imagery, let us now look at the use of allusion. Allusion refers to the reference made to a person, place, event, myth, or another literary work in a work of literature. Hope alludes to Dryden's song for Saint Cecilia's Day, as has already been pointed out in the summary. In Dryden's poem, it is pointed out how music was played in the background at the time of creation. From harmony, from heavenly harmony, this universal fame began. The different elements of nature took their positions in obedience to music's power. Music has the power to raise and quell different emotions, as Hope also points out. The trumpet's loud clangor, the thundering drum, the soft complaining flute, and the sharp violin evoke different emotions like anger, violence, love, jealousy, desperation, pain, etc. However, Dryden says that of all these, the sacred organ is the greatest, as it inspires holy love. However, when Saint Cecilia sang to the accompaniment of the organ, an angel landed on the earth, mistaking it to be heaven. Thus, the contrast between two poems becomes clear. Dryden eulogizes the mighty power of music and offers the song as a tribute. However, Hope displays the misuse of music for destructive purposes in a matter-of-fact manner, which lends an indirect sense of condemnation. Throughout the poem, Hope maintains a stoic attitude, but implicitly conveys the sense of horror at the merciless killing of the musk deer. So, let us now move on to the use of sarcasm and satire before we conclude today's lesson. Before we proceed further, let us understand the meaning of the two terms. Sarcasm refers to the use of exactly opposite of what is intended. It is generally said to criticize something in an amusing manner. Satire is the art of making something ridiculous through contempt, indignation, etc. In one kind of satire, that is, Horatian satire, the narrator remains tolerant of human follies and hypocrisy and discreetly evokes the reaction of the readers against such failings and absurdities. Moschus Moschiferus contains satire of the Horatian kind. Hope never explicitly condemns the merciless slaughter of the deer, assuming an urbane and tolerant attitude. He presents the bleak situation in a matter-of-fact manner. His sense of indignation is wrapped and camouflaged in the rendering of the power of music. It is at a later stage that the reader realizes the serious implications of the act of luring and killing the deer for monetary gain. The sarcastic tone becomes explicit in the last stanza when Hope declares, "Divine Cecilia, there is no more to say. Of all who praised the power of music, few knew of these things." Thus, Moschus Moschiferus presents the satiric tone of Hope. In the presentation of the theme, the use of imagery and allusions lend the poem its popularity. That should be all for now. Until we meet again next time, this is Danish Manzoor signing off. Script Dr. Gulfisha Habib.
If you have any comments or suggestions, please write to us at the following address: The Director, Directorate of Distance Education, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Gachibowli, Hyderabad 500032. I'll repeat the address for you again. The Director, Directorate of Distance Education, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Gachibowli, Hyderabad 500032. The production team: Producer Mr. Rafiq Ur Rahman, Production Assistant Mr. Mohammad Ghaus, Technician Mr. Satish Kumar Gupta. A Maulana Azad National Urdu University production.